So I know I always come on the podcast, and I always on this show give you a lot of bad news. I give you a lot of bad news about the corporate Democrats, about the Republicans, about AOC, about everything, right? But today I've I've got a little bit of both. I've got a little bit of good news, and it's about the Iran nuclear deal. Now, just about a little bit about the Iran nuclear deal. Again, if you're hearing noise, there's people here at home. So, but the Iran nuclear deal was basically where the U.S. got Iran to stop developing nuclear weapons. So, in a sense, we're being hypocrites, but. They have been known to work with terrorists a little bit. I'm not trying to repeat CIA talking points, but there you go. And so the U.S. said, "Hey, we're gonna freeze $500 billion of a lot of your resources. You're gonna stop making nuclear weapons. You're gonna give up your uranium and whatever other materials make up the nuclear weapons." I'm not scientifically smart on that. And so then we will stop sanctioning you, and we will allow more medicine and food and aid and everything else like that into your country. And Iran, Hassan Rouhani, followed that to a T. And that's essentially what the Iran nuclear deal was in a nutshell, in like a summary, kind of shyly putting it there. Just putting it there, which, that's essentially what the deal was. And other countries, aside from Iran and the United States, were in it. France, New England, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and a whole bunch of other countries were actually in the agreement. So pretty much everybody was in on it. Everybody had a hand in creating it. And so this prevented war. This put the U.S. in a good standing with Iran. This put Iran in a way where they could, in a position where they could create economic prosperity in their country, and they wouldn't have to be sanctioned like hell, like they are now. And so, the Donald Trump came in and he pulled out of the deal because he's stupid. And but now, interesting enough, Hassan Rouhani, the president of Iran, has said that he would rejoin. So, article here. Rouhani says that he would rejoin the nuclear pact an hour after the U.S. does. Awesome. Article from The Hill. Iran's president suggested Tehran would honor the Obama-era nuclear accord within an hour of the U.S. rejoining the agreement, something President-elect Joe Biden has vowed to do. The Guardian reported that President Hassan Rouhani said Monday that Iran stood ready to restart the relationship with the U.S. under a Biden administration, but cautioned against any planned changes to the 2015 agreement. Rouhani also warned the U.S. and other European allies of seeking to constrain Iran's missile program. The newspaper added. Biden has reportedly said he wants to restore the multinational agreement with Iran. So this is actually a good deal, and I hope a lot of progressives agreed with Obama on this. And I know I come on and I bash him all the time. I bash Joe Biden all the time, but this is something good that he did. He actually did great with this deal. And so here's the thing. Iran wants to join this because right now, well, first off, let me tell you this. When Iran was in talks with the United States, Europe, and everybody else, Russia, that was when they were in talks, Hassan Rouhani and the moderates in Iran, the moderate leaders in Iran, were putting their asses and their reputations on the line here, making the deal, because the hardliners, and the Revolutionary Guard and the Grand Ayatollah were saying, no, don't do it. And now Hassan Rouhani wants to get back in the deal, but people are saying there's a good argument in saying here that because of the forces in Iran, because there's multiple forces like here in the United States, in the government, he might not even be completely in control. He might be the public face and he might be the president, but They're saying that he might not even be the main person in control or in control at all. He's just a public face and might have a little bit of a say. And so the Ayatollah and everybody else in the Revolutionary Guard said, the hardliner said, don't freaking join the deal. Don't do it. They're going to break it. They're going to pull out of it. Don't make a deal with the devil. You're going to follow the deal. We're going to do everything we have to. Once these guys are gone, they're going to pull out of the deal. They're going to violate it, and then they're going to screw us over. And guess what? It happened. That happened. We pulled out of that deal, and guess what? Iran was now free to make any nuclear weapons they wanted. Iran was now making missile programs, missiles, and the hardliners were now emboldened because they're like, well, shit. The U.S. is not going to do anything to us. We might as well do our own thing. We can sponsor state terrorism if we want. We can build our own nuclear program. We could, to build nukes, to build nuclear weapons. We could build new missiles. And it's fine because the U.S. pulled out of the deal. We don't have to abide by it. We can do whatever the hell we want. But then the Trump administration started sanctioning and sanctioning and sanctioning. And what are sanctions? It's basically where you tell other countries and yourself, we are not going to be allowing any medical supplies, any medicinal things, any food, any water, any natural resources, any resources at all into the country. That's what we're saying when we're sanctioning. So just because I know I'm still a new podcast and people tell me I should go over these terms. And so right now, Hassan Rouhani wants to get back in the deal mainly because of the economy, because he understands I need to fix the economy, and then once we get the economy back up and running, we can get medicine back in the country, we can get food back into the country, we can get our people healthy and happy again. And now look, there's still a dictator and there's still a dictatorship over there in Iran and all that in Iran, but that's his main priority. That's why he wants to join the deal, because it will help him, it'll help the country, because now we won't be sanctioning medicine. Now, why would Iran want a missile program? Hello, defensive purposes. Now, look, again, this is why I don't know that asking Iran to then say, hey, we want you to also give up your missile program so you can be totally defenseless. What country would do that? That's why if Iran wants to get in this deal, but they also don't want to give up their missile program. Because Joe Biden has said two things. One, I want to rejoin the deal. Yes, 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 yes. Do it. 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 Rejoin the deal. If you do rejoin the deal, we could have better peace. Peace in foreign policy. That's what we need, right? We don't want war with Iran, although the military-industrial complex and the corporate warlords do, and dumbasses over there in the Biden administration. But anyway, he said, I want to rejoin it. That's the position that progressives like. That's the position that most of us like. But then he has this conflicting view of, okay, I want to rejoin it, but I also want to ask them to give up their missile program. Oh, God, Biden, he's going to ruin it. He's going to ruin it because here's the deal. In our country, we have hardliners. We have the right wing, like the Republicans, like Donald Trump, Mike Pompeo, and all the others. Mike Pompeo, Gina, what's her name? Gina DeSantos. I'm going to say DeJesus, that's someone else. And they are, a lot of them are against this deal because they want war with Iran. They want to sanction Iran. They want to do everything against Iran so that they could then, create a war with them. And Iran doesn't want that. Iran, their hardliners are like, why are we going to join back in a deal with the freaking devil? Look what they did to Syria and the Kurds. The Kurds are people who are in Syria and in Pakistan as well. And they're helping to guard ISIS prisoners. ISIS is a terrorist organization that grew at the founding principles were in Iraq. Under the Bush administration, and then they were helping us. The Kurds were helping us guard the prison where 10,000 ISIS prisoners were, and then the U.S. under Donald Trump pulled out those troops so that Erdogan could go, who is the leader of Turkey, could go attack the Kurds and invade into Syria. And there you go. The ISIS prisoners were let out of prison, and now we got ISIS on the run. Thank you, Trump. So that's why a lot of countries are saying, why are we going to make a deal with the U.S.? A Republican comes in, they're just going to pull us out of the deal. But then you have Iraq or Iran, who wants to keep their missile program going because of defensive purposes. Because Israel, who's an ally of the United States, wants a war with Iran. The Republicans want a war with Iran, and some of the corporate Democrats want a war with Iran. They want to bomb the crap out of Iran. They want to do what we did in Iraq. Of course they would want to keep that missile program. We can't just pull out of a deal, make a deal, violate it, pull out of the deal, and then come back and act like we're the ones in the right and have the right to ask for more, to be added to the deal, to make it more punitive, to make it more harsh. We're the ones who violated and pulled out of the deal. Us, the United States. It's not like Iran did it. It's not like Iran was the one that said we're going to pull out of the deal, we're going to violate the deal. No, they followed it to a T because it helped their country. And then we pulled out of it. And so, of course they want to avoid war, and if they ever get in a war, they want to be able to defend themselves. That's what they want. So to then ask, oh my God, we want them to get rid of their missile programs. Oh, that might be a little too far, you guys. That might be a little too far. That might be. I don't know that that's possible. And, so if Joe Biden were to stick with the first position, I think that might be better. Because, look, to be fair, Iran is saying the right thing here. Well, look, Republicans come in, they want a war. We bombed an airport just to kill Qasem Soleimani, who killed, 700 Americans? We killed how many Iran, citizens of Iran and citizens of Iraq? Iraq and Afghanistan, how many did we kill? Over 1 million? We're still there, right? So, of course, he's not a terrorist, and, right-wingers are going to spread their freaking propaganda. But we did that. We then sanctioned the shit out of the country. We are causing death, starvation, famine, economic destruction, everything you can think of, starvation. We're causing that because, guess what? An economic turmoil. We are sanctioning them. We're preventing resources from going into the country. Now, people might say, oh, you're not supposed to say why Iran needs their missile program because the government in the U.S. doesn't want you to say that. Why? Because they're all corrupt. They're all warlords. They're all people that just want to go to war. But that's the real reason that they want to keep their missile program is because, hey, we actually need to defend ourselves for when you bomb us and you invade our asses. And by the way, I think they're kind of crazy they would be crazy as hell to join the deal and give up their missile program. Hella crazy. I know. I mean, as Kyle Kalinske says, they're probably crazy enough to get in the deal and to give up their nuclear weapons. While every other country around them, Israel, the U.S., Russia, all of them have it. Like, seriously? And look, I gave Joe Biden and Obama and Joe Biden credit when they did this, and John Kerry came in and he did this with them. I gave them credit. I gave Trump credit for going to North Korea. He didn't accomplish anything in North Korea. They're still testing missiles. They're still testing nuclear weapons. They're still able to drop weapons into Japan, into the sea, or close to it. And if they keep going, they're going to develop more to come into the southwestern United States. You never know. So, look, but did I give Trump credit for at least going? Yes. And you might say, oh my God, but the Republicans stopped Obama from doing it. Yeah, but Obama was just a little cuck and a dumbass. And he said, the Republicans say they don't want me to help the American people. And they don't want me to go to Korea, North Korea, to talk to Kim Jong-un. Yeah, exactly. But hey, all I have to say is I'm hoping that Hassan Rouhani and President-elect Joe Biden can find a way to get this deal going again, get us on the right path. This would be an amazing change, and this would be the right kind of change we need to make. If you are the new Biden administration, we need this. This needs to happen, and I am hoping that Joe Biden. Let me fix this. That Joe Biden has the will to do this. We need this deal. We need this deal. So, that is my rant on Iran, we will talk about it, I'm sure, under the Joe Biden administration. And I just want to thank you all for watching this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And yeah,